Today's special broadcast that comes to you from outside the White House in Washington, D.C. I'm Gaurav Sawant. The stage is set for Donald Trump to return to the White House as the 47th President of the United States of America. And preparations are on here at the Pennsylvania Avenue right outside the White House for the grand reception. But because of the chill that's expected on the 20th of January, it's likely to be -7 degrees, could go up to -10, at least 5 to 8 inches of snow is expected. And Donald Trump himself has said he does not want his supporters to fall ill or to be out in the cold. And that is why a lot of the celebrations that were planned here outside the White House, and in fact all the way from the Capitol to the White House, they've now either been curtailed or called off. Trump supporters have been asked not to come to the White House but stay where they are. There are, of course, 18 balls and gatherings that are being organized, some official, some unofficial, including the Commander-in-Chief's ball, where the President and the First Lady would be. But there are several other get-togethers that are also happening. But as far as the Trump inauguration is concerned, there are several heads of state and governments who've been invited. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, will be here. Several tech giants will be here. Several top celebrities and industrialists from across the world will be here at the White House.
Countdown to Trump 2.0 is on. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is all set for his second term.
Congratulations.
President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration will take place inside the U.S. Capitol rather than outdoors due to severe cold.
We're standing right here on the Capitol grounds, and this is the Capitol Hill. It's all ready, and it was all supposed to go as planned when President Trump would have taken oath right there at the center of that stage that you see. You still see people working below the stage, but this is where the President of the United States usually takes oath for the office. But today, he has decided, and President-elect Trump has decided, that he would not do that due to inclement weather.
Indoor oath ceremony has denied Trump supporters the grand spectacle they hope for, but they are still enthusiastic.
We are very excited. This is our second try to get to the inauguration, and we've made it here, and we had tickets to attend, but unfortunately we've heard there's a cancellation. So we are a little disappointed, but definitely glad we're here.
I think it's really upbeat now. I think everybody's ready for some change and ready for hopefully for positive change.
This will be the first time in 40 years that U.S. presidential inaugural ceremonies are moved indoors. The last president to be sworn in indoors was Ronald Reagan in 1985. The ceremony will be attended by many world leaders and tech giants. After Trump fans and their families, the next most important attendees are the outgoing president and also the vice president. Former Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush will also grace the event. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is representing India at the inauguration ceremony. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, President of Argentina and Chinese Vice President are among the guests. Business titans including Ambani's Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk will attend the inauguration in Washington, D.C. Musk will be part of Trump 2.0. He will be heading the Department of Government Efficiency. Local and federal officials are expecting over 2 lakh people to show up in Washington, D.C. for Trump's ceremony. The grand inauguration day includes a formal swearing-in ceremony, as well as musical performances, a celebratory parade, and a number of formal balls. All eyes are on Donald Trump as he moves back into the White House. With Rohit Sharma in Washington, D.C., Bureau Report, India Today.
India and America have had very warm ties, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans. But when Trump was the President of the United States of America in his first tenure, he had come to Ahmedabad, to Gujarat for Namaste Trump. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had come to Houston, Texas for Howdy Modi. But will that relationship be taken forward to a new level in Trump's second presidency? India Today's Rohit Sharma spoke to several Indian American Republican and Democrat congressmen and other political leaders to get you their perspective on where India-America relations stand now and where they're headed.
When we met during the campaigning season, you were obviously campaigning for yourself and, Vice President Kamala Harris. We've got Trump, who's elected as the president now. The inauguration is coming up. What can people expect from Trump 2.0? Like, what have the conversations in your party about Trump 2.0?
I have no idea. My best guess is yours. I think Trump 2.0 will be unpredictable. I didn't see Greenland coming. I didn't see, he campaigned as someone who was going to be a peaceful president. And then in his first press conference, he says he's going to send troops to Panama and Greenland, right? So it's just, you just don't know with him. I think the one thing you do know is that he'll, say and do things to get attention and get press and distract from the issues. And so we'll see what happens.
Actually, a couple of weeks ago, a lot of Indian Americans were on, they were online hatred against them, especially the ones who come here, work here. What would you tell your constituents? What would you tell, people from India who are working here on visas and as such, and, who were basically, called out names, including, I remember Congressman Sri Thanada was even asked to go back to India. Mm-hmm. So, how do you see all this playing up?
Yeah, I've gotten some of that too. I did my swearing in on a Bhagavad Gita because I'm Hindu, and it talked about my mother immigrating from India, and I got those same kinds of comments. People saying to go back to where you came from, you're not a real American. I would just say that's unfortunately people are vocal now about their bigotry, but I'm not going to let it stop me. Certainly, if anything, I'm going to let it motivate me, and so. I would also say that for those people who are attacked or for those who hold H-1B visas or, immigrants generally, I've got your back, and I know a lot of other people in Congress do as well.
The inauguration is coming up. What can one expect from Trump 2.0?
He's going to be looking for a strong economy. He's going to be looking for a sustained economy. He's going to look for growth above 2%. That's going to include deregulation, keeping the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in place, which will expire in 2025. I think he will look to have a stronger defense posture. I think the Indo-Pacific region is extremely important when you look at China and its rise, not just in its economic strength, but its military prowess. The fact that they're threatening Taiwan in that region that's so important, that has 70% of the world's wealth, 70% of the world's population, about that much in military might as well. It'll be extremely important. I don't know if he'll focus on that in the inauguration itself, but he's going to talk about a stronger, more resilient America that's much more fair. When I say fair, that doesn't mean that we have equal results, but we have equal opportunities, not based on race, not based on gender, not based on anything other than your efforts and your abilities. That's been the American way since the very beginning. One of the things that snuck in somehow or another is that we punish people who are successful. That should never be the American way. Anybody who's part of the Indian diaspora knows that. We've seen a demographic who's extremely successful be punished for that success and actually discriminated against for that success many times. And that's the unfortunate thing. We should never represent that in America. We should always represent our best efforts, and that we should allow businesses to flourish here, because that will keep us ahead of the game, especially as the world's largest economy, with our head looking slightly over our shoulder towards those people who are approaching us very rapidly.